Hey guys, sorry it's been so long since I filmed a video. You can probably guess why by the title of this video. And before I get started, I do want to say thank you so much to Megan F on YouTube. She was kind enough to buy me a tripod and a mic and a little plug that has to plug into my iPhone to connect for the microphone. She was so kind. I could not believe that someone was just kind enough to do that, which is sad but anyways, I just want to say a big thank you to Megan. I really appreciate it. This tripod is amazing. I love it. It's perfect. It extends. I think it's 50-inch, but it doesn't matter. I love it, and thank you so much. But okay, I just want to go ahead and get into the video. I've been dying to film. I'm so sorry if you're my dog in the background or my boyfriend, because he's playing games and he's watching PewDiePie and playing this game at the same time. I don't know. Excuse me. But I've been nervous to film this video, and I have kind of a cold, so excuse that my voice. I cannot concentrate. Oh my god. Okay, again. I've been nervous to film this video because of the title, and I'm afraid of what people are going to think. But a lot of people are going to think, anyone, because I relapsed. I made a big mistake and I relapsed. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. I know my last video was pretty long, and honestly, I can remember, I don't remember if I told you guys in detail about a lot of this stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into this. So basically, if you watch my other videos, I mentioned that I was addicted to XANAX in the past, but I'm still addicted to XANAX. I hadn't taken any. I had been clean. I don't even want to say how long I've been clean, for a couple reasons. One, because now I feel like it doesn't even matter, because now I have to start all the way over. I just feel so ashamed. But anyways, so I told you guys before that when I was 13, I was put on prescription Xanax. My dad was in a car accident. The other person died. He went to prison. I lived with my grandmother at the time and my two aunts, which was my grandmother was my mother's mom, and my two aunts were my mother's sisters. So they raised me. My mom came back into the picture when that happened with my dad, when he actually was in jail and went to jail and prison for the wreck, when he was indicted and arrested. Sorry, indigestion. So when my mom moved back in and that had happened to my dad, all of a sudden these feelings that I'd never felt before, ever, came over me. It was panic attacks and anxiety, but at the time I didn't know. Excuse my nails, but I had no idea what was wrong with me. My mom moved back in, like I said, and when that happened, I think I told you guys before, she could not do anything without me. Use the bathroom, I don't care what it was. I had to be next to her because I had this constant fear that I was going to die, that I was going to pass out. And so she took me to the doctor, and they brought me Xanax. that same doctor also wrote my mom XANAX at the same time. And he had me, if you're curious, and didn't watch the last video, I was on 30.5 milligrams. And then the next month I went in, once a day. The next month I went in, he put me on 2 a day. So I was getting 60 of them every month. And I was only taking one or so a day. One pretty much because it helped. Like, the first time I ever took XANAX was after I'd had all those panic attacks. Like, had all that anxiety, all the feelings. Right before I went to the doctor, a friend of my mom's had given me one because she was like, I really think that she's having a panic attack. Let's just give her this and see what happens. And it was like, I just felt so normal again, because this is almost a year, I'd say, that I went with it being untreated. Almost, it felt like forever, but it was a very long time. So when she gave me that, it was just like I felt so normal again. I felt like a normal teenager. I was able to walk to the dairy bar, because we lived close to a dairy bar, walk to the dairy bar with a friend and get a milkshake and not be terrified that, like, when I get back my mom's going to be gone or I'm going to pass out. Like, it was amazing. And that's where my addiction started, that day with XANAX. It was crazy. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I mentioned in my last video that my dad got out of prison. And also I mentioned in my video that my mom and dad, both of their drugs of choice was methadone and XANAX. Ironically, that was exactly what mine was later on. But XANAX for them indefinitely was my drug of choice. And then methadone. And if you know anything about that, methadone and XANAX is a deadly combination. Do not ever mix methadone and XANAX. My stepmother overdosed from mixing methadone and XANAX, and she was taking a lot at a time. The time when she overdosed, she had taken like 2. So it doesn't matter if your tolerance, if you're taking 1 milligram XANAX a day and 80 milligrams of methadone every day, and you're fine and high. The next day you could take your 80 milligrams of methadone and just 2 milligrams of the XANAX and overdose. It is a deadly combination. I can't believe that my mom and dad were both able to get doctors. It wasn't a clinic. Doctors were writing both of them methadone and XANAX. Methadone and XANAX for my dad, methadone and XANAX for my mom. They both got the same prescription, which was a long time ago. Now it's a lot different, but still, that blows my mind. So like I said, my dad had gotten Casey's Law on me when he got out. Not as soon as he got out. It was a little while after he met his now wife, and she didn't like me very much. She's a nurse, so, and she has a brother who deals, well, that's not my place to say. I'm sorry, and I cannot get that out. I do not know how to edit yet. But I'm just gonna, she's dealt with addiction, and I feel like she met my dad a week after he had gotten out of prison. They were married within a year. I didn't think that she would be that judgmental, but anyways, we just don't have the greatest relationship, and that's fine. I love my dad, and I will respect her because of him, and that's it. But at this time I did not. It was terrible. So she went and signed the paper for Casey's Law, to have me. And if you don't know anything about Casey's Law, it takes 2 signatures, I think, in Kentucky anyways. Where I was at, it just took my dad, and then anybody could have signed for the second. And my dad signed it, and my stepmom, and my mom actually signed it. But she later went and removed her name because my dad was, sorry, I hope this mic is okay. I feel like it's not my place to say, but at the same time, like, it's my story, and it kind of is. So, but my dad was asking me to help him get XANAX. And I had all the text messages and, and my mom felt guilty because she knew that, and she felt like my dad, he never sat me down and talked to me and tried to understand the effect of what him going to prison had on me. He never done that. He just went straight to have me sent off, and I did not like that. And my mom didn't either, so she removed her name, but it still stuck because it was just my dad's signature and his wife. So they ordered me to a methadone clinic, and at this time, let me back up just a little, sorry. Right before this, I was on methadone. I was buying methadone off the street, and I was being prescribed XANAX. So I was mixing the XANAX I was prescribed with methadone I was getting off the street. So when they court ordered me to a methadone clinic, I was like, well, hell yeah, like, that's fine. So I went, and I told you guys, I think in the last video also, that my addiction got so bad, like the XANAX, that you have to pay like $70 a week at a methadone clinic. If you have a certain insurance, it's $100 a week. Some insurance will pay for a portion of it. Cannot talk. A portion of it. Mine paid for $30, so I paid $70, but I would not pay that because you could get up so high, like you could owe like $200-$300 before they would discharge you. So I would take that money, that's $70 every week, and I would go buy XANAX. So yeah, that happened, and then I left the methadone clinic for other reasons I'll get into later. Well, I got pregnant, but I'll talk about that in another video because the delivery was terrible. I was treated very poorly because they switched me I stopped the methadone clinic, and I was put on Subutex. The OBGYN was the one writing the Subutex. So, but they really, really judged me, and they done a lot of terrible things to me at the hospital during my son's delivery because of that. But that's another story, like a big story in itself. If you guys would like to hear that, let me know. I seen Megan's video today, and it brought that up. But I don't want to copy or anything. But I had an experience just like that, but I don't want to say worse because but it was more intense, and I had a lot more, I didn't get to bring my son home with me at first, so, but that it's so cruel the way like that they treated her, like they knew the whole time. But I don't want to get into her story. I'm sorry, Megan, but I related to that so much, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to tell my story so badly because it's so similar. Like, what is wrong with, the doctors that are writing you these, or they are aware of you getting these and never tell you once that, oh, like, you can't do that. These are going to be your consequences if you continue to do this. And then they just surprise you at the end. Like, you don't do that. Like, that's so wrong. And that could have it has so many negative consequences, and it's just terrible. So anyways, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So last Thursday, like, also, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But I showed you guys my list before, and like how I had had a really bad experience with a public official, a big person in my small town, and I'm so terrified to talk about it, which I'm not mentioning names, and this is alleged. Anything I say is alleged. So, but whenever I told you guys about that, it was in relation to my son. I'm sure you could put two and two together, which he was not the father, but he promised me I would never work again, not a day in my life, in this town or the surrounding county, in this county or surrounding counties, because he works in this county, but he also, because of his position, he has to do it in the surrounding counties. And he's held true to that so far, because December or January will make 2 years that I had been unemployed, that I'd been to jobs, and they'd be like, yes, you have the experience, all of that, you're hired. And then they find out they're like, I don't know what happens, but for instance, I had a job, and that's what happened. She's like, yes, you're the perfect, like, you're what I'm looking for. Can you please start immediately? Like, this was on a Friday, and I was like, yes, when can I start? She's like, can you please come in Monday? And I was like, yes, I'll be there. I was so excited, and I went out and bought new work pants and shoes, and like I just said, I've been unemployed, for 2 years. Like, I don't have money I literally don't have money to just go do that. I barely have money to survive day to day. Anyway, so I call Sunday just to check in. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And she says, actually, there's another person that I have decided that's better for the job. I'm sorry, Miss Martinez. Like, very, very smart-assy, and just it was so heartbreaking. I couldn't believe it. I was so upset for so long, and it just, so many things, and that happened. That's happened for the past year. I've been trying, but for the past about 4 months, like, I've been really trying. Like, I've put in applications every single where. I went online and put applications, went in and put applications. I'm sorry if there's like I don't know what that is, but like fuzz. And then they have a program called WIA in my town. I went there and put in applications. They have a place called Go Hire in my town, and this place is to help you get a job. They're supposed to, anyways. And the WA, they just set you at a computer and fill out applications. The same thing I done at home. Nothing come of it. At Go Hire, they keep losing my application, because I know why, because of who works there and who this public official was that told me that. And it's very disheartening, because I have 2 kids. I have a son who will be 2 November the 1st. I have my 6-year-old daughter. You guys know her father. Her father was Kyle, the one that passed away. And I have my son, whose father isn't involved in his life, and for a lot of reasons, not just his fault, but a lot of reasons, and I'll go into all that. It's such a shitstorm. But it's hard. I mean, I have 2 kids. I have no vehicle right now, and I don't want any pity, please. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me or pity me. I just kind of want to, like, tell you guys the truth. Like, I just want to be honest. Like, I never get to say or talk about it, like, and talk to anybody about it. I don't have any friends, really. I really stay to myself or with my kids, like, and with my boyfriend, Bobby, and that's about it. But about a month ago, I applied for this job, and it's not in my county. It's almost into another city. Sorry, I keep saying but I was very excited about this job because I just told them everything. I told them the truth about everything, and they were fine with it. And it's a good paying job. It's more than minimum wage, and even if it wasn't minimum wage, I do not care. Like, I was willing to cut grass this summer, but they wouldn't let me because I was a girl. But this job, I was really looking forward to it. Like I said, it paid more than minimum wage and had a lot of benefits. And I was able to choose my shift. That way I could have time with my kids. I would be at work while my daughter was at school, and I would be home at night to put her to bed. Things that matter to me. And it kind of fell through. And when it did, last Thursday, I relapsed. And I relapsed pretty bad. And I go, I don't know if I said this, or I'm pretty sure I have, but I'm in a Suboxone clinic. And I've been in this clinic for way over, almost 2 years now, too. So it's almost been 2 years. And my clinic, I know Megan's talked about this a lot. In the MAP program, when you're going to a Suboxone or methadone clinic, either one, you're being treated for your opioid addiction, which that's another thing. I don't feel like I'm being treated for my benzo addiction. I don't really know how that works. They haven't explained anything to me. They kind of just, I'll tell you what they do. But so I go to this clinic once a week. I was getting more than that at a time, but I failed this test, so I'll have to go every week. But I have not had counseling in well over a month. Well over a month. I have not had any counseling in over a month. And it was because they said it was because they have 4 or 5 counselors, okay? They said it was because my insurance and several other people that go to this clinic, our counselors, our assigned counselor, did not accept that anymore. So they had to hire a new one, and she's in training right now. But even during this time that she's been in training, they haven't mentioned to me one time anything about counseling, even suggesting maybe getting it outside of this, which I should have took that upon myself to do. I should have, but I didn't. And also, like I said, I was not trying. I probably am making excuses. I don't know, but I was trying to find a job at this time. Just a lot of things going on in my personal life that I didn't really want to go out of my way to reach out and try to find other counseling or other resources like that. When I just felt like the clinic I was in, I was paying for the medication and the treatment. Like I was talking about, Megan was talking about, it goes hand in hand. You have to have both of those. If you're serious about your sobriety, you take the medicine, but you also have to have that mental I want to say mental medication, but like the mental, the counselors, like you have to go about the mental health part. Like they have to treat you for your mental health. That's like part of it. Like the DEA can come in. That's like against the rules. We haven't had any mandatory counseling. And I really feel like that affected me a lot because I see my counselor, they would make you had to see them at least, they said you had to see them at least twice a month. You could go with seeing them with once a month, at the least. And that's, I don't know. But I would go like every other week, and it helped. It really helped a lot. Like this has helped me. But I just feel like, sorry, I keep pausing. I'm still getting angry in the skies, I'm sorry. But, so I haven't had any kind of counseling or anything. And when this job fell through, I just felt like, wow, like my son's birthday is in less than a month away. I have no income whatsoever. I'm not gonna get emotional on every fucking video. I have no income whatsoever. And what am I gonna do? Am I gonna do anything? Pay bills, have him a birthday party, have him a gift, like that feeling of being a mother, or anybody, but as a mother, to have the feeling of not knowing if you're gonna be able to buy your son a gift for his birthday. It's a very gross feeling, and it's so gross. I was just so disgusted with myself, and I relapsed. Like I took XANAX, what got me in this position anyways, but that's how an addict's mind works. It's how we think. We use something as a crutch, and that's exactly what I did. And I don't know, I feel like, sorry if this mic, I really hope it didn't mess the audio up, but I just really feel like if I would have had the proper counseling I was supposed to have had, I maybe could have avoided that. And also, if I would have went out of my way and tried to have found some other alternative resources, meetings, or anything, that maybe I wouldn't have, which is what I'm going to do in the future. But there also comes, like I've told you guys in my last video, the meetings in this county. It's a very small county. I only know of two people that have meetings, and I think it's not even once a week. It's like, I don't even know how often it is. I know drug court people have to go to it, so I would think that it would have to be more than once. I think it would have to be like every week, but I cannot go to the one that everybody goes to, because that's the one where I know that previous times that I've went, that I've been given XANAX and methadone, but I haven't done methadone since in almost 2 years now. But XANAX I've struggled with a lot, and I cannot believe that I relapsed, and I really relapsed. Like it was a bad relapse. And I'm ashamed. I'm so ashamed to say that. I've been holding back on this video. I didn't know what to film. I was trying to think of so many things to film, and I was like, nothing is like, I don't know. And then I was like, and I know why. It's because I wanted to get this out and be honest and make, this is why I haven't been more consistent, and this is why I haven't filmed or put anything out, because when I relapsed, I just got depressed after that. It's not just the relapsing. So after I relapsed, I got depressed. I laid in bed for 2-3 days. Like, my hair's a mess right now, but like, I just take a shower, throw it up. Like, I put makeup on to film the video, but I'm starting to feel better. But, you know, I just got so depressed after I relapsed, and honestly, I don't have a lot of support other than my counselor, and there's so many things. The counselor I had before did not know like the difference between Suboxone and Subutex, which really shocked me, because you're a counselor. I'm not trying to offend any other counselor, but if you're a counselor and you go to purposely work in a treatment center like this, you would think that you would know at least the basic, you know, like, you should know that. I feel like she should have known that, and she didn't, but I explained it to her. Not that I don't think that really mattered, but I'm just saying, like, this clinic also that I go to has been investigated so many times by, I guess, the DEA, is that what it is? Or that, they've been investigated a lot. So, I don't know, I thought about switching clinics, and honestly, lately, I've been thinking so hard about switching to methadone, and this is why. When I was on methadone, because it is an opiate, you know, it's a stimulant. When I was on methadone, because at one point in time, I could control my XANAX addiction. I would just take the methadone, but I would come home, I would clean house. You know, I was up at before 5 every morning, because you have to go dose at like 5:30 every morning. Well, they're not open past 10, so most people go at like 5, 6, 7 in the morning, or 8, and you know, after they drop their kids off. And so I would go, and then I would come home and spend time with my kids, clean the house, get everything done, and I just felt amazing for so long. And then, you know, things happened, and things do happen. I mean, life happens, and you gotta find another way to deal with it. And I chose not to this past week. I chose not to find another way to deal with it, and I was like, I'm just gonna relapse. And it was so crazy, because how it happened is just so crazy. Like, my dealer, who it is would blow your minds, but just happened to ask me that day, you know, tell me, hey, I have this, and I immediately was like, yes. They had it in hand, like I could not refuse it. You know, I would go more into that, but there's a lot of reasons I can't, legally, and just to protect my family. So, but yeah, I really felt like I wanted to share that. The reason I hadn't been on here, and be honest, like, you know, sobriety, like everyone says, it's for the rest of your life. Like, being a recovering addict, it's for the rest of your life. And I know a lot of people don't really talk about if they've had any relapses. Like, I hear a lot of stories. I'm talking about anybody in particular, but I've heard a lot of people talk about like how long they've been clean, but I've never heard them talk about like relapsing, or like how much clean time they had before they relapsed, and then did they relapse again, or, you know, did anything like that. So I really want to take you guys on this journey with me, and I guess I'm starting back over, and I'm just gonna do it this time. Like, I'm so tired of feeling the way I did. Like, it really reminded me of why. I hate it too. It's so weird. Like, as soon as I done it, I hated it. I hated myself. I hated the fact that I just done that, and I regretted it so much. Like, it's crazy. But I don't want to keep you guys on here too much longer. I will have another video coming out soon. They may be back to back. I might film another one tonight. If I don't know if you guys would want to see another one. I don't know if I'll upload on the same day, but maybe one day apart, or maybe I'll just upload them both tomorrow. But I really hope that you guys try to stay a little open-minded and not judge me too hard on the fact that I did relapse. But I understand, you know, but I really hope you guys like this video, and please, if you could please subscribe and like the video, that would mean a lot to me. Just watching the video means a lot to me, and if you are watching this and you've made it 36 minutes in, thank you so much, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Like, when I read comments, like, I've had a couple people reach out and say just say kind words, and like Megan doing that, like, that was amazing. She didn't have to do that. She's done enough, so much, so already, but it was just like, it literally brought me to tears. And the reason I said that sad before is just because it's sad that when people get so used to being treated so poorly, when someone treats them with the slightest bit of kindness, not that hers was slightest, I'm talking about like the people commenting and just and her just encouraging words, is just so amazing and surprising. Like, it shouldn't be surprising that we are here for one another. Like, we've all been through, like, what's that saying, like, I don't know, we're all in the same building, just got different views. Like, I think that was a Drake lyric. Yeah, we're in the same building, we just got different views. I really like that, and I relate to that a lot, because we've all, well, a lot of us have been through addiction and abuse, but we've just got different stories. But we've all been through the same thing. So I feel like if any of you guys relate to this, please just, leave me a comment. You can write me. I have Facebook too. I don't like it on there as much because, like I said, I live in a small town and there's so much drama. Not with me per se, but like, I just see negative stuff on Facebook a lot. But I have Instagram and I'll link it. And yeah, or you can leave a comment, or if you're a silent watcher like I am on a lot of videos, that's fine too. I really appreciate it. I can't say that enough, just how much I appreciate everything. Sorry, like I said, I have a really bad cold. Cannot get it to go away. I feel like I'm going to lose my voice. But sorry I keep keeping you guys on here. I'm just excited. But thank you guys again for watching so much. And I really hope that you are here for my next video. You can turn on the post notifications. And so whenever I upload the next video, I was talking about filming, you can get the notification for it. I might do the story about my son, if it's okay. Like, I want to run across Megan and make sure, or I don't know, maybe my sexual abuse story. I don't really know if I'm ready to talk about that yet, but I could talk about my son, or more about my addiction, or more about anything. I don't know. Leave me a comment and let me know. And thanks, guys. I hope you all have a great night, and make good choices. Just make good choices. And if you're thinking about relapsing, please, like, I know right now it's late here. It's like, I don't even know what time. It's like 9 or 10, but if you're thinking about relapsing, like, reach out to a friend. go for a walk, go for a bike ride. I really want to go for a bike ride right now because the weather is like perfect. But like read a book, and then tomorrow reach out, go to a meeting, or find a counselor, someone to talk to. Just please really think about it before you decide to use, like I should have. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.